What is poppin'? 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 What is going on? What is poppin'? 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 What is going on? How you doing? How you looking? How you living? How you feeling out there? It's week 15 already. Knipes, Niners are in a good spot. They're rocking and rolling. My Packers are coming off that loss on Monday Night Football against that Tommy DeVito kid. But how you feeling, Knipe? How you doing? You ready for some Sunday football?
Yes, they're always week 15. So the playoffs they got heavy implications every week now. So it's really fun to watch. This is the best time of year for football, man, because we got Christmas coming up. All the families are getting together, and I mean, just enjoying the season and enjoying some football, man.
Yeah, so that was the poll of the day. Did you make the fantasy football playoffs? Somebody on the panel did. Somebody didn't. I'm sorry, buddy. Let's get the roll call going. We got Mark Speed in the house. Whoop whoop, brand new Lions. Oh, come on, man. Jonathan in the house. Yeah, 5 minutes, bro. I had to get my coffee ready. My guy French is in the house saying Cowboys Nation. We'll talk about your Cowboys later. Okay. How did we do last week? This is how we did. Hold on. Give me a second here. This is how we did right here. I'm still on the top, baby. Pause. One game above Knipe last week. I thought he had me because he did pick his upset of the week correctly. He had his Jets, or not his Jets, but he had the Jets winning. And then he had the freaking Giants beating the Packers as well. So kudos to you, guy. Kudos to you. But today is a new day. Before we start, I just want to touch on, we had 4 games that's already happened. So we don't really need to spend too much time on it. I just want to bring it up and get your input on some of the things that happened, because we did see something big happen with the Chargers. They got spanked. They got mollywopped. They were down 42-0 at halftime, and then they ended up losing 63-21 to the freaking Raiders, who scored 0 points last week against the Minnesota Vikings. So guess what? Knipe and I, we've been saying it for the longest. Brandon Staley needs to get fired. And him, the GM, Tom Telesco, and the defensive line coach, they all got canned. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, it took 49-0 at halftime to, I guess, get it through their heads, because I guess 27-0 at halftime, or I mean, it was 27-7 against the Jags. But either way, like the game last year against the Jaguars, that should have showed you everything you needed to see about your coach. Like, you can't close out a game where you're winning by 27 points in a playoff scenario. Like, dude, man the hell up and get your guys right. And Brandon Staley is just not that dude. He's not a leader of men. And yeah, I'm not surprised. This is a long time coming. I mean, I don't like to celebrate when dudes get fired, but
Yeah.
but like this is one where it's like, maybe we could throw a little party,
I'm sure Charger fans are ecstatic.
Oh yeah, I would be super happy if I was a Chargers fan.
And I don't even think he will ever get a shot again. He might be a defensive coordinator somewhere, but like head coach, nah.
No.
So let's go down to Saturday's little 3-game slate right here. I didn't really watch too much. I watched the whole Vikings and Bengals game, and I didn't care about the Steelers and Colts. I mean, Steelers are they're jokes. Fun fact about the Steelers now, they're actually doing worse offensively than they did with Matt Canada. So everybody was blaming Matt Canada. They were averaging 16 points per game with him as their OC, and now 13.6 something points without him. So,
dude, you can't give him. I mean, the new coordinator was given Trubisky like immediately.
I
Like,
know.
so like I'll give the new coordinator this. He had one game with Kenny Pickett, I'm pretty sure, and that was the one game that everyone was talking about because that was the first time they broke 400 yards in however long. And I think in the Matt Canada era, they never broke 400 yards. So
yeah.
that was impressive. So I'll give the guy a break. I mean, that's the same thing as having Zach Wilson as your QB. It's just like you have a wild card who you have no idea how good or bad they're going to be that day or that second, and they can turn the ball over at any moment. So I'll give them a break on that one.
Yeah, well, the Colts are now 8-6, and the Jaguars, all of a sudden, walking into Sunday Night Football against those Ravens, and those Ravens aren't a team to mess with. This is a must-win game for the Jags tonight.
Daddy Minshew is coming, Jags. Daddy Minshew.
Oh, hey yo! I will say that Mark Speed. Let's touch on the Lions and the Broncos. Sam Laporta went off.
Dude.
He's not going to win Rookie of the Year, but he went off, man. He actually has 70 plus catches now in his rookie season. He might be the next big thing tight end wise, bro. He balled out, in training camp and preseason, but man, he's really putting it together on the field this year. And the Lions just beat up on the Broncos 42-17. Lions coming off that tough loss against the Bears, short week for them, and then they do this. Broncos, do you think they have a shot to make the playoffs still after this loss?
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that we have 7 seeds now is huge, like just in the NFL in general. And they're definitely still fighting for that 6-7 spot. So I mean, I wouldn't count them out yet.
Yeah, we know French. Whoever was good job, French. Pat on the back, buddy. Jake Browning and the Bengals were down 17-3 against the Vikings. They come soaring back. Jake Browning's been playing really freaking good, man. T. Higgins probably one of the catches of the year in this game as well. It was a fun game to watch. By far the best game on Saturday's slate. Nick Mullins played pretty well too. He did make a dumb mistake, throwing a couple picks, but he was doing better than Dawes was doing. So Ty Chandler was having a nice game as well. But we're on to Sunday. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Boom. There you are. We're on a Sunday, and we have a lot of good games again on the slate. We're going to start things off with the Bears and the Browns. Right now, that boy Joe Flacco just got a payday, man. He just signed a 1-year contract. Not like a big payday, but he just signed a one-year contract to stay with the Browns. He was, up and down on the practice squad, so a team could have went in there and swooped him up, But he said he was going to stick around with the Browns. They ended up signing him to a 1-year contract. He will most likely be leading this team the rest of the way. The Bears coming off a good win against the Lions. Believe it or not, the Bears are in the hunt still.
Dude, yeah, it's wild, bro.
Like, if you look at right now, they're picking number 5. Of course, they're picking number 1 because of the Panthers, but they are 1 game behind the 7th seed. So that's how wide the range is right now in the NFL. You're either picking 5th or you're going to the playoffs right now. So it's super bunched up, super close. It's going to be fun to watch. But right now the Bears are the underdogs here. The Browns 3-point favorites, over under 37.5. Injury-wise, DJ Moore is questionable. Let me look at that because he's expected to play, so he's good to go. Yeah. And then Denzel Ward's questionable for the Browns. So this is gonna be a pretty interesting game. I'm gonna go with the Browns here. I think they just hold down home field. Those dogs are gonna be barking, and they're 6-1 at home, so they play well there. David Njoku's been balling lately. I mean, last week he had 2 touchdowns with Flacco, so I think the Browns keep it going, bro. I think they win at home.
All right, we're going to start off the day opposites, baby.
Good.
Give me them Bears, man. The Bears are surging right now. It's kind of cool to see because I like when teams can actually give us something cool to watch. And, man, they're the biggest – I wouldn't even say their offense has been the biggest spark. It's been their defense that's been crazy good the last 5-6 weeks. Their defense has usually been Swiss cheese the last year and a half, 2 years. And you can just tell over the last 6 weeks, they're holding teams to at least, a respectable, point total. I mean, not the Lions game, but even so, the Bears defense has been playing a lot better than, playing with more cohesion. And I like the narrative going into this is the Browns are doing well with Joe Flacco, but do you remember what, I think pretty sure that Justin Fields first start was against the Browns and he got absolutely, I think it was 10 sacks or something crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, they don't forget about crap like that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say that the Bears are so hungry for this playoff spot because how cool would it be to make the playoffs and get the number 1 overall pick?
That would be crazy.
And the Browns have just beat 2 teams that kind of people didn't really expect them to beat in the Jaguars and then someone else before that. But yeah, I mean, the way I see the narrative going on this one is The Browns are going to lose one because it's going to even out. The NFL has just an odd way of doing that to teams. And I feel like the Bears are going to want it more than the Browns do. And I feel like the Bears defense this week can actually surprise people against Joe Flacco, because people have been pressuring Joe Flacco way too much and like giving him too much room to throw because they think he's a statue, which he is, and the Jaguars just didn't show us the right way. But yeah, let me get the Bears to get this win. I'd say by a field goal.
I will say this: the trade for Montez Sweat looks great because he's been playing phenomenal ball. Could be a close game, man. I think Vegas hit it on the nose. Like, this is gonna be a very close game, and it might be a fun game to watch. But the next game is the fun. This is when the party starts, baby. This is where the party starts on Sunday, man. The Packers taking on those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Packers coming off that loss. Bucs coming off that good win against the Falcons. Right now, the Packers are 3.5-point favorites at home in Lambeau Field. We've been playing good ball there. 42.5 is the over-under. So nice little, scoring is going to happen here, hopefully. Going to be a cold day. So the Florida team coming up to the north, shiver me timbers. They're going to be shivering in their cleats, 34 degrees. We do have one guy back, and I'm rocking his jersey for that reason, man. Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is back. I don't know, man. Who knows when Jair is going to ever play again? He's questionable. Let's look on Jair right now. He's questionable. Game time decision. So hopefully he's out there. He's only played 5 games this season, so we paid him a lot of money. Go out there and play. Come on now. We have a couple of other injuries. AJ Dillon's going to be out in this game. He broke his thumb, so it's going to be Aaron Jones' time, hopefully, unless he gets hurt once again. Eric Stokes is activated off the IR, so maybe some cornerback help there. Packers, come on now. Like, we got to bounce back and do this thing. I think we're going to win this. I'm not saying that because I'm biased. We're at home. This is how we should hold it down. Vita Vea, questionable. That's another big name on the Bucs side. He's in. Oh, he got upgraded though from doubtful to questionable. Oh no, I'm scared of Vita Vea. But I think we got this. I think the Packers can hold down home field, frozen tundra, and this isn't Tom Brady's Buccaneers anymore. A couple of seasons ago, this would be a must-watch game for the casual eyes. But give me the Packers winning this by a touchdown. Yep, I know you. I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking.
Mix it up again, baby. Let's mix it up again. Give me the Buccaneers to win.
Oh
man.
my God!
I think they can do it. I think they can absolutely do it. Because you guys don't impress me. Like, I mean, you guys are a good team, but you guys don't. Like, you're not a surefire bet on anything, in my opinion. Especially when you're missing pieces. No offense, but I mean, you're just not. So, I mean, you're missing. Not to say AJ Dillon's huge or anything like that, but you're missing enough key pieces to where I feel like you guys are weakened. The Buccaneers are always, like I say, they're a gritty team, and they will fight you. And I think that Baker Mayfield is enough of a dog to where he can, get it done and, keep this team in the football game. And I think this is going to be more of a Bucs defense wins the game over the Packers. Let me get them Buccaneers to upset them Packers. Not week, but.
Mark saying Max says he's not biased every week. I'm not. I put my analyst hat on.
Dude, who cares if you are, man? Just
I know.
live your life. It'll be all right.
He's also going with the Bucs. Damn, man. I mean, come on, guys. You're supposed to be on my side here. But I mean, the Bucs do have some key injuries as well. They're all questionable right now. It's going to be hard to determine if they're going to play. Devin White, Jamil Dean, Ryan Neal is out there. Safety. Chris Godwin's questionable. So
they don't need Chris Godwin. They just need Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield and a prayer, baby.
Yeah, well, I'm scared of one player on that offense. Foreshadow here, Rashad White. The Packers, they can't stop the run. They haven't stopped the run in 5 years. So it doesn't matter who's defensive coordinator. They just can't do it. So it's going to be a scary game and a must-win game for both teams because you see how locked that NFC is, where you already talked about it. Right now, the 6th seed is 7-7. And then we have like about 5-6 teams in the hunt. So come on, Packers. Get it done. Get it done. Let's go to the Texans and the Titans here. Kind kind of an ugly game now because all the injuries for the Texans.
Yeah,
I
with
mean,
no Nico, no CJ, man, that's brutal.
yeah, and they don't have a shot here. I'm sorry. Um, Texans started hot. They were one of those teams that's like, oh, it could be a surprise team to make the playoffs, possibly, maybe even win the division. Dare I say it? So this is if Davis Mills can somehow pull this off and win, that AFC South division is going to be very, very interesting. But I think I'm going to roll with the Titans. They played a phenomenal game on Monday. I mean, Will Levis, shout out to him, man. He was balling out there. He led the team a victory over the Dolphins. If you had a parlay for the Giants and the Titans on Monday Night Football last week, you were coming out with some money. I think Spence dropped $2 to win $46. I mean, that's how the odds were. But I think the Titans keep it going here. They do play their best ball at home, and too many injuries on the Texans side. So give me the Titans in a touchdown win.
Yeah, I'm sure most of America feels the way we do because I mean we've all seen Davis Mills. We've seen that the General Mills project, and we know it's not very good, and especially his top weapon or Nico and obviously Tank Dell are out. So I mean it's just who are you going to throw to constantly that's going to give you some positive yardage here. And I like what I saw from. I mean I always like Mike Vrabel's team, even when they're down in the dumps, even when they're below 500. I still like that coach, and I like what he does with his boys over there. So let me get the Titans at home for the win here.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, man. When all those guys go down, like it's hard to win. It's hard to rally.
I'm just sick of it this year in general, man. The amount of backup quarterbacks is insane, bro. Like it is absolutely wild how many backup quarterbacks we've had to watch this year. I mean, like guys like Jake Browning, that's cool and stuff. It's cool when and Joe Flacco's doing good. Like if they're not all playing like crap or anything, but man, we've been robbed of so many possibilities this year. I feel like.
Let me ask you, because me and French were just talking about this. Let me ask you a question and see what you think. How many teams do you think has not started a backup? Started, not like the guy went down mid-game, but started a backup quarterback this season? How many teams?
I'd say at the most like 10.
You're close. It's 13 teams that has not started a backup. We saw Derek Carr go down and Winston come in, but I was saying like start a game. So 13, bro.
Dude, it's brutal. Man.
Yeah, it's been a very, very brutal season. Yeah. But it's funny you were saying that because him and I were just talking about that.
It just sucks, man. It sucks with the sport. Like we just like this, like the Jets Dolphins, like this should be amazing with Aaron Rodgers and Tyreek Hill out there, and still don't get to see it though.
Hey, we might see Rodgers next week.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Well, we got the Jets taking on the Dolphins, and this is actually a very interesting game here because the Dolphins don't play well against the Jets. The Jets defense gives them a little bit of hell, and Tyreek Hill has missed all week of practice. He didn't even get one limited practice in, man. And they said it's on him. If he wants to go out there and play, he's going to be out there. If he doesn't, we're going to sit him. So that's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be a lot of game time decision injuries today. So keep an eye out there if you're in fantasy or betting or whatever you're doing. Jets are 8-point underdogs on the road in Miami. Over under 36.5. Oh man, Dolphins just came off that brutal loss with the Titans. They were undefeated against teams below 500 coming into that game, and this is another team below 500 walking in. Zach Wilson won the AFC Player of the Week last week. Just balling out last week, man. Does he do it again? Dare I say it? No, I don't think so. I can't see the Dolphins, even with Tyreek Hill, if he does not play, I cannot see the Dolphins losing back-to-back games against below 500 teams. Now, the Jets, they're one of those tough teams to beat because their defense is just that stellar. But I think Tua, Achane is questionable as well. Mostert and Jalen Waddle is enough to get it done. Give me the Dolphins. They're at home. Dolphins win. It's going to be a close game. I would not touch the spread. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Dolphins win. They squeak it out.
Man. I mean, there's just so much. Tyreek Hill is so important, and I think he is 100% involved in the MVP conversation, even though obviously there's other guys that have been playing very good football as well. But Tyreek has to be involved in that conversation. And the only reason he plays today is because he is after that 2,000-yard marker. Like, he wants that bad. He said it before the season, before any pass was caught this year. But, I mean, it's going to be huge if he plays or not, but I'm still going to take I know I take the Jets a lot in the upset of the week, but I'm going to do it again, baby, because let's go, dude. Let's go. I do not believe that the Dolphins get it done because you want to know, after watching Hard Knocks, after watching team meetings and stuff, you can tell Mike McDaniel is stuck in his own head about December losses because they keep bringing up December of last year, like, oh, we were this good and we were 8-3, and then we lost 4 in a row in December, and we were this, that, and third, and then we lost in December. It's like, dude, y'all are in your own head at this point. And I genuinely, I mean, it's a divisional game. This is not like I like picking up sets of the week that are divisional for sure, but I mean, just the Jets are, to me, they're easy to pick because of their defense. Like, a defense can win a football game for sure. And if you're going to tell me that Achane is hurt and Tyreek Hill is banged up, dude, Waddle gets knocked out of every single game he goes into. He will not finish this game more than likely. And then you only have Raheem Mostert left and like Durham Smythe. Like, okay, yeah. Let me get Gardner and DJ Reed to do their thing on the outside to hold down the edges, and the Jets can get this done as long as they, if the Jets can get to 20 points somehow, which I believe that they can by field position of their defense. Let me get them in an upset because it's a divisional game and, they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So
I will say this. Get Breece Hall involved. You saw what happened last week. Get him involved. Get him involved. Okay? You might have a good shot to win if you get him involved. That's all I'm saying there. What up, Houston, Texas? Dave, good morning to you. Happy holidays to you as well. Over there with the Galveston, Texas over there. I see you, Houston, Texas, Dave. Let's go down to the whiny baby crybaby. The Chiefs versus the Patriots here. Mahomes. It looks like he just got his candy stolen from him at the playground last week.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just running around screaming at the refs because Tony was offsides, and he was offsides. Flat out. He was offsides. Now, do the refs make mistakes and they don't call that same call? Yes. I mean, we saw it just happen recently. I forgot which team it was, but they were lined up right where Tony was lined up, and they didn't call that offside. So, I mean, I get the frustration, but Chiefs fans, you guys got bailed out a bunch of times over the past, 3 seasons with some calls, okay? Mahomes lost back-to-back games, and guess who called it? Me. All right, Mahomes, you're just not him this year. You're not. But you got the Patriots this week. This is a nice get-back game. If you don't win against this team and Bailey Zappi, all hell will freeze over. I'll tell you that much. Chiefs should win this game easily. I mean, the Patriots, they got to win against those Steelers, but they're not a good team at all. Ramondre Stevenson is out once again. It's going to be Zeke again. This is not the same Chiefs versus Patriots, everybody. This is the new Patriots, if you would, on the AFC side. But that dynasty looks like it might be ending soon. But give me the Chiefs winning this game, and they should cover that 8.5 spread. Come on, Mahomes. Let your frustrations out in the field, not on the sideline, getting held back by you trying to bum rush the ref.
Yeah, I mean, I used to really enjoy everything about Patrick Mahomes, how special he was, and just like the magic and fire he brought to his team. Because this is entertainment at the end of the day, and he was like the most entertaining dude. Dude, I don't root for children. Like, he is a gigantic freaking baby, and like, grow up, bro. Like, that was absolutely asinine and ridiculous that you thought it was okay to bitch when your player is the one that messed up. Tony didn't even give the ref that thumb. I see wide receivers do it almost every single freaking play. Yeah. They look at the ref and they say, "Hey, am I good?" And then they're set. You know what I mean? Like, they're good to go. Tony didn't do that at all because who would have thought? Tony's kind of an airhead, and Tony, dude, for the love of God, like, the guy just he makes mistakes constantly. Are we really that
Yeah.
surprised that he made this mistake also? And yeah, the way Patrick cried about it and the way Andy kind of backed him up and cried also, no more respect for the Chiefs, period. End of story. Like, I hope Patrick Mahomes never wins another Super Bowl, and because he does not deserve it at that point. You're not a champion, and you don't know how to win and lose like a champion. So I mean, I would love to pick the Patriots. If they were playing almost any other team, I would pick the Chiefs to lose this week. But Patriots are just so bad
Yeah.
that, I mean, the spread though, 8.5. I really don't know if I would take the over on that, to be honest, just because the Chiefs have been so discombobulated and their brains are like, I guarantee you that locker room is freaking the fuck out right now, and that's why all that the extra crap happened on the sidelines, because Patrick Mahomes knows, like, he's never been 8-5. He doesn't know like what the hell this is like to go 8-5. But he doesn't. I hope the Broncos win that damn division, dude. They deserve it more than the Chiefs do, to be honest with you. And that's who I'd rather see on top of that division right now. So sadly, let me get the Chiefs win just because the Patriots are complete dog water, but. I'm not going to give them the 8.5 points. I think the Patriots or the Chiefs barely win. I think they maybe win by 4 points.
Yeah, and like Dr. Van, what's up, Dr. Van? Like he said, Andy Reid and Mahomes got fined. I think Reid got $100 million fine. Mahomes got a $50,000.
$100 million.
$100,000. Sorry, just bankrupt this man. $100,000 fine for Reid, and then Reid came out and said that the refs got it right. I think that's what I saw. I'm like, bro,
oh, whatever.
really?
Dude, I don't
You already
do
got
whole,
your.
Yeah, no, I don't do the whole walk back crap.
Exactly. Don't walk back. Like, come on now.
No.
But yeah, that was embarrassing. And then you had Brittany Mahomes in the box, like circling the ref and was like MVP. I'm like, just shut up,
dude. It would be one thing if let's say the Chiefs constantly got screwed over by penalties. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just like a trend where like the last 3 to 5 years they had just been getting railed by penalties left and right.
Yeah,
dude, they have been given everything. Even in the freaking Super Bowl. And you know what the cornerback said in the Super Bowl, because he actually has some integrity and he knows how to lose like a champion? He said, I did it. The cornerback in the Super Bowl said, yes, I messed up and I held, even though it was the tiniest ticky-tack hold call ever. Like, Patrick Mahomes, you are a $500 million man, and you're going to sit here and cry about that when it was a correct call? What are we doing, dog?
Yeah.
You are a baby. You are nothing anymore, in my opinion.
The one thing that really irked my nerves was when he went up to Josh Allen after the game. Like, instead of congratulating him, he was like, "Oh, how are you gonna call that?" Like, Josh Allen's probably like, "Bro, like, what the? I don't give a fuck." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. And then he's like, "I apologize to Josh." No, dude. Like, that was flat out like a disgrace, just like embarrassment to himself. And I love Mahomes like you, man. I love Mahomes like, but that was the first time that he really embarrassed himself on national television. Like, it was flat out a joke, man.
I honestly hope that this is the marking of the end of their dynasty. I hope that they are done and we've seen the peak of Patrick Mahomes, because guess what? He's going to lose Kelsey pretty soon. And unless you got Papa Kelsey, you ain't going to have no security blanket, bud. And so Broncos or Raiders or Chargers, like, someone take over that division, please. Like, someone please do it.
I saw that Dr. Van. He said the offensive offsides got called on the guard last night because his helmet was over the ball or whatever. Something we saw that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets called. It gets called. So like,
you're complaining about a correct call. Shut up.
Merry Christmas to you too, Lore. What's up? Look at that. Oh, is that a Brock Purdy jersey right there?
Oh shit.
Okay, Lore. All right. We got the Giants and the Saints next on the docket. Right now, the Saints, they're holding on by a thread. That team is it's hard to put a freaking finger on that team, man. It really is. They have the weapons, but they just don't play up to their potential, it seems like. The Giants, however, they're making a little bit of a run here. Tommy DeVito and the Ace Avenue. Good video, by the way, Ace. I should try to find it and bring it up. But if you didn't watch it, the Ace made a little compilation video and made me look like a complete dumbass for picking the Packers over the Giants last Monday. But DeVito's been playing great. Man, the Giants fans are over there saying, do we start DeVito over Daniel Jones now? That's how good he's been playing. Saquon, 2 touchdowns on Monday night, looking like Saquon. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the Saints are 5-point favorites at home. The over-under is 39.5. The Giants, you are a game out of the wild card. Do you keep it going, or the Saints? You're right there in the thick of things in the NFC South division. This is a nice little game right here, Knipe. And for that, this is my upset of the week. Upset of the week. Upset of the week. Tommy DeVito. Right? Right, Ace? Right, all you Giants fans? Let me do it again. Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants are going to upset the New Orleans Saints on the road here because the Saints are just flat out pathetic. They don't know what they're doing over there, man. I can't put a finger on them, can I? I think the Giants walk in there on Saquon Barkley's shoulders and get it done. I think this is going to be a touchdown game. The Giants are going to do it. There you go, Ace. I picked y'all to win it, so don't make me look dumb. Because every time I do pick the Giants, they lose. So give me the Giants on the road by a touchdown.
Well, every time you pick the Giants, they lose. So, I mean, we both know. I don't know if I had figured out the Saints either, but I love my boy, Poppy, Alvin Kamara, and
why do you call him that? By the way, I never asked you. Why do you call him Poppy?
Because he's the fucking man, dude. He's like one of the best players in the because the 6
anymore.
touchdown performance against you, Max.
That was what, 4 years ago.
It doesn't matter. That was the greatest fantasy football. Just beautiful day.
Yeah, thanks.
I could ever ask for.
Kick a man while he's down. Well, I'm talking about the Giants. You were going to bring up Alvin Kamara's 6 touchdown Christmas Day miracle.
Because dude, if it happened to you, you do the same thing. Yeah, let me get the Saints to win just because they're at home. I think it's gonna be a very, very, very tight game. I wouldn't touch that spread. I would actually give the Giants I would take them to cover that spread. Because you said the Saints are favored by 5 or 5.5.
Yeah, 5-point favorites.
Yeah, no, I think this will be maybe even less than a field goal game, like a 21-20 type of finish or something. But I'm gonna give the Saints the win just because I feel like they're gonna play with enough urgency today on defense to where Tommy DeVito has been looking a lot better. He's playing with confidence, which is huge. But he had the home crowd with him last game. We'll see if he can keep it going. I think he still will have a decent game today, but let's say the Saints, just do just enough to pull out the victory here and stay alive in the South there.
The one thing that scares me with the Saints is Chris Olave. He's questionable right now, and he's going to be a pregame warm-up. He's going to go out there and see how his ankle is. Let me read this report right here. It says Adam Schefter on ESPN relays that one source indicated there is doubt that Chris Olave will play this week. Mm-hmm. So that will be a huge miss for the Saints there.
Yeah.
Is that going to sway your pick at all?
No. I'll still take the home team here just because it's such a tight game. To me, this is not going to be decided by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns or anything like that. But and I do love Brian Daboll. I think he's doing a great job over there. But I'm just going to give the home team a close margin of victory here.
Okay. All right, let's go down and stay in that division. The Falcons. This is Jonathan's Falcons right here, everybody. They're taking on those just flat out pathetic. That's all you got to say. The Panthers are a flat out fucking joke in the NFL. They suck. They're terrible, and I feel bad for Bryce Young. They don't really have anything around them. Their offensive line is a flat out joke. And literally, I was watching the game last week, and the pocket would just collapse. As soon as he hiked the ball, they would be in the backfield. He's less than a second out there. Falcons, they're only 3-point favorites on the road. That's a little disrespectful. If Vegas is saying this is going to be a close game, over-under is a measly 32.5. A measly. Desmond Ridder, Bijan Robinson. You got to get something going here, man. You got to make sure you beat these Panthers by more than 3 points. Come on now. You're better than that, right? Don't lose to the Panthers. Don't lose to the Panthers. Give me the Falcons here. There's not really much to say. Falcons should beat this team. Anybody playing the Panthers should win the game. Falcons win by 10 points. Give me 10.
Yeah, I'm like you. I'm very, very, very shocked at the line here. Like, what does Vegas
Yeah.
know that we don't on this setup right here? Because I feel like the Falcons defense. I mean, as much as like they had like a 3 game or like a 3 week span where they were kind of a joke, but they've gotten back to somewhat normal. And I mean, like, how do you pick the Panthers right here with those point spreads? It was like the
Yeah.
Falcons should. I mean, maybe just because Desmond Ritter is such a question mark. Not when he's not at home. That's my only guess is they think Desmond Ritter is going to be a goose egg today. But yeah, let me get the Falcons to win by 10 also. And the only thing that sucks about last week's loss for the Falcons is that was like the first week that I've seen them use their players correctly. Like Drake London heavily targeted.
Yeah.
Should always be heavily targeted. Don't know why that's even a question in Arthur Smith's mind. Then Kyle Pitts was used correctly, and a generational talent tight end should be. Get out of here. But yeah, Kyle Pitts was used correctly, and then Bijan was used a lot more than Tyler Algier, which is what we wanted to see all year. And they still lost, so that's kind of concerning that that all that happened and they still lost. But I think maybe their defense isn't playing as well as I think they have been. But yeah, the Falcons should be able to get right here. So let's see what happens.
Damn, Jonathan said there's no excuse. It's an easy W. If they come out there with an L, I'm officially done watching this team until next year. Oh, Jonathan says this is going to be win or you're out. Hey, man, you can jump over to the Packers side. You know what I'm saying? We welcome all fan bases on this side. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this should be an easy win for you, even though it's the NFL. Nothing's easy, but it's the freaking Panthers, man.
Yeah, Bryce Young just looks terrible, and he just has no help.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the 4 o'clocks, and we're going to start off on a nice little game here. I know the Commanders are a terrible team, but I'm talking about fantasy-wise and like a lot of scoring-wise. The Commanders and Rams have an over-under of 49.5, which is tied for the one of the highest on the slates. Right now, the Rams are 6.5-point favorites at home. Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams. They got a nice little offense over there, man. They have some weapons. Defense is they need to play better because they could have beat the Ravens last week, and the Ravens snuck that off. But Commanders, they're dead in the water. But Sam Howell, he's one of those quarterbacks that he will make some plays out there. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. But I'm gonna be holding down LA. I'm gonna be rolling with the Rams here. Close game. The Rams should be able to cover that 6.5, but I won't touch it because I'm too nervous about that. But I think the Rams, Matt Stafford, I think that they rely on Kyron Williams in this game too. They're gonna get it done. So give me the Rams here by like a touchdown, but that spread is too close for me.
I'm going to agree and disagree at the same time. I'm going to say the spread is not enough. I think the Rams are going to dog walk the Commanders.
You do call this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders' defense is an absolute dumpster fire, man. And like you said, all the weapons for the Rams are there. Cooper had a great bounce back game last week. Puka had an awesome game. Kyron had, dude, that little guy, like that little 190-pound little Energizer bunny over there, man. He's awesome. Like I like watching Kyron Williams just because watching a tiny dude have that much dog in him. It's like watching like a little Darren Sproles, and I love it.
Yeah.
And so I root for him, even though he's in my division. It's still fun to watch guys like that. So like let me get Kyron to have a huge second half here. Because I feel like they're going to be able to run the ball quite a bit, kind of almost at will in the second half. And I mean, I think the Rams are going to be that dark horse team that your Packers are going to be fighting against for that last spot. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the Rams are going to deserve it more and get it because they just look more like a playoff team. They do. I mean, you guys can maybe do it next year.
No, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, no, they can maybe do it next year. I think you guys will get wild card next year, and the Lions will still be your daddy. But let's.
We just beat them on Thanksgiving.
Papa Lions.
Lions are not our daddy. We're their daddy. The Lions haven't won the North.
It's a new age.
No.
It's a new age. Dan Campbell says, "Fuck you, wear a diaper." Let me get the Rams though to win by 13 plus here. I think that they're going to win by a lot.
Yeah. Laura's saying he hopes the Niners can beat the Cardinals this week tonight, and that's the game we're going to next. I think the Cardinals, they got a shot here, everybody. Niners taking on the Cardinals. Right now, the Niners are 11.5-point favorites. I mean, I was just kidding, everybody. If you don't know my sarcasm by now, come on. You've known me for what, 2 years now, everyone YouTube? Come on. Niners, I don't need to talk about this game. You go ahead because you're the Niner fan. So take it away. What do you got? What do you think about this game right here?
So I'm not. No game is easy. I'll start out by saying that. Like it would. Like if this is if this is a close football game, this actually wouldn't surprise me. Just because divisional and we're on the road and our defense is slightly banged up. However, it's my Niners. We should still be able to do what we want to offensively. Christian McCaffrey should have a huge day. Being that the Cardinals defense is basically full of nobodies, and they're going to play with fire today though. I don't feel like they're going to just be laying down like they have been most weeks. They just had a huge upset win against the Steelers, so they're feeling high off that, and they're coming off the bye, so they have a lot of rest. And so I'm going to only give us I wouldn't even give us a touchdown victory here. I think this is going to be uncomfortably close. I could see us losing for a little bit of this game. Yeah, I'm as much as I want to be as confident as I can be going into this week, and I usually am. I was confident against the Eagles. I called us dog walking the Eagles on the road, but just I don't want our team to overlook. And I know Kyle usually does. Get out of here. I honestly, it would be a fun call because Kyler is a mobile quarterback, which we usually struggle against. And it's I know my team and I know what we're capable of, and I know also when we can look past the team, and we can be in danger of doing that. But I hope Kyle has all of our guys' minds right, and we take every game seriously. We want that 1 seed, and this is where 1 seeds prove it. If we can go out there and just keep shitting on teams, awesome. And I hope we do it. But I'm only going to give us a 4-point win here. I think it's going to be close, uncomfortably close.
Spencer, Knipes tripping. Niners winning by 28. I think it's gonna be a blowout too, man. I get your points, but the Niners team is just right now, they're locked in, man. Yeah, they're beating the crap out of anybody who's playing them, except for the Packers in the playoffs. But I just don't see the Cardinals having a shot here. I know the first game they played, it was closer than we all expected, but I think the Niners are a different team now, even though they have some key injuries like Hufanga is out now and stuff like that. But the Niners they're the team to beat in all the NFL right now, and I think they're going to keep it going here easily. I think they do cover that spread. I think the Niners win by 17 points, and the Cardinals, better luck next year. Better luck next year. Let's go down to possibly the game of the week. We've been saying this about the Cowboys a lot lately, actually.
I feel like these next 2 games are the most exciting games on the slate.
Yeah, no doubt. And Cowboys on the road to Buffalo. It's going to be a very cold day. I think some wind gusts are going to be in the 20s. So windy, cold, Buffalo. This is where the environment is shifting to the Buffalo side of things because the Cowboys play indoors. They play in Texas. It's nice and warm there. It's going to be chilly. Dakota Prescott's going to be shivering. He's going to say, "Here we go," and at the line of scrimmage and stuff like that. Cowboys are a great team. They are a phenomenal team. They're one of the top teams in the league. If you want to say top 5, they're in it, right? But the Bills, they've been playing really good football lately, and Knipe, like you've been saying this all season. The way it's shifted, the league wants, it seems like the Bills to make it in the playoffs, right? Because they're 7-6 right now. They're on the fringe of the playoffs. Give me the Bills here. Give me the Bills here holding down home field. I'm sorry, French. I've been picking your team for the past couple of weeks now, but I think Josh Allen and company hold down the cold Buffalo Orchard Park, and they get it done, and they're going to win by at least a touchdown here. Give me the Bills beating the Cowboys.
Yeah, French. I've been very impressed with y'all. I'd be picking the Cowboys. I picked the Cowboys over the Eagles with ease. I even said y'all would shut them out, even though you didn't do it. It was still fun to pick. But yeah, I mean, the Cowboys have been looking awesome. They're really one of the only two teams in the NFC that, remotely threaten the 49ers and the Eagles and the Cowboys. Because no offense, Mark Speed, but I don't believe the Lions are quite there yet to compete with those boys in playoff time.
Front.
Yeah. I think those are like the Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners are just to me clearly better than the Lions. Even though I do like the Lions, I think they're great. They're just not at that top echelon just yet. But man, French, y'all going to be going on the road. Y'all been playing awesome at home. You've had so much great momentum, but I mean, I know you guys say you don't make the schedule. Your schedule has not been that difficult, and this is where things get testy. Prove it. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, Dak, if you win this game handily, oh my lord, like just give him the MVP at that point. But man, I don't see Josh Allen losing this game, dude. Not at home, not in front of he knows what's going on. Josh Allen is going to perform today. Good luck, Max, because you're probably gonna get 40 out of him in fantasy.
Yes.
But yeah, let me get Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to take care of business at home. But picking the score of this game is like, man, what's the over under?
49.5.
Yeah, I don't even like with the weather, and I don't maybe.
I'd probably say under.
Yeah,
but I want over. I mean, we both want over because
I want
like
over, but I feel like but I feel like both defenses are just gonna kind of like man the hell up. You know what I mean? And cold weather, I feel like kind of favors the defense. So I'm gonna go under, and I'm gonna say like Bills win 24-20, 24-20. Yeah.
Spence said, "Hell no, he's going against me. It's gonna happen, Spence. Josh Allen's gonna be leading me to victory." Cowboys are dog walking the Bills. Cowboys are a fun team. They are a fun team to watch. I mean, they got a squad, man. They really do. Hey, this might be Jerry Jones. If this team can't make it to the Super Bowl, I mean, what else y'all got to do? I know the Niners are that team in the NFC, but like, this could be the year that they can.
The French knows what's in front of his team, and he knows it goes through us, and you're terrified to play us, buddy.
Max, what's Brandon Cooks going to do? Oh, he's going to score a touchdown today, and he's going to take the arrow and shoot it right at Spence. That's what he's going to do. Let's go down to Sunday Night Football, the Ravens and the Jaguars. It is a very rainy day in Jacksonville. It's very gloomy, very ugly outside, but I think the weather is going to be clearing up for this game. So that's good news for the Jags fans and the Ravens fans in town, right? Ravens, I've been saying this all season, Knipe. I said they are going to the Super Bowl for the AFC. That's my call. The Jaguars, though, they need this game. They just saw the Colts win. If by God, the Texans and Davis Mills wins, everybody will have 8 wins in this division. The Jaguars, this is a big game for the Jags, man. Big game. And Trevor Lawrence, this is your time, bro. The Ravens are a Super Bowl contending team. And if you want to put your Jacksonville Jaguars in that same contention, you're going to have to walk in here and get it done. You're holding down Everbank Stadium, which you struggled a little bit. 3-4 at home, the Jags. Come on now, right? You're supposed to play good in front of you, Duval, and all this stuff. Get it done, right? I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think they will. I think Lamar Jackson, Zayway, Flowers, Gus Edwards, Odell Beckham and company. I mean, the list goes on and on. They got weapons left and right. No Christian Kirk for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Seems like it's going to be a way bigger issue than a lot of people expected it to be. Calvin, really? What's going on, bro? You and T-Law aren't really in that syncness that we saw in training camp and stuff. I don't know what's going on there. Give me the Ravens. They know what's going on in Baltimore. I got the Ravens winning this game. Sorry, Spence.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've watched Jaguars versus Ravens games over the last few years, but the Jaguars just seem to have the Ravens number almost like the same way they have the Bills number. And when there's a history like that, I can't ignore it. And especially when Jaguars are home, they know what's at stake here. There's no way that every single player on that Jaguars roster is not going to want to play for blood today. And as much as the Ravens are serious and for real, they can take a loss and be just fine. And I think that kind of feeling and momentum and stuff is going to be on the Jaguars side. If the Jaguars score first, they're winning this football game, and I think they will score first. And I'm going to say the Jags take it at home because, dude, they know it's at stake. I mean, this is when players step up. This is when guys, because I don't think the Jaguars are a team that's going to miss the playoffs. And I think that they know what the expectations are, and they know that they can do it. And this is a game that you have to win if you want to, cement your name in that playoff schedule. So I mean, I think they get it done because they're home. If the Ravens were home, I would give them the win. But I mean, the Jaguars just played the Ravens so well over the past few years, and I can't ignore that. And I'm going to say that they keep that trend going. And I mean, it makes it easier to pick the Jaguars because there's no Mark Andrews. Even though Isaiah Likely had a great week last week, I still think the Jags defense is going to actually step up, and unlike they have been, and play some good football tonight.
I'm about to say they haven't stepped up in a couple of games now.
They've looked like crap. But it's a perfect bounce back spot. I mean, tough game. You want to show the world, you know what I mean? Your prime time. Let's do it, Jags. Let's get this win and put Minshew in the past. I mean, as much as I like to give y'all crap about it, I want you guys in the playoffs because you're the best team in the South, in my opinion. Like anyone else who makes it is kind of a fluke. Let's go, Jags. Y'all should win.
My guy Ace gifting a membership. And Lore, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the squad, Lore. Ivani just waking up. Damn, bro, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock, man. Wake your ass up. What the hell? I was up at 8:30. Ravens are 5-1 on the road. The Jags are 3-4 at home. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah,
I mean, Dr. Van, I'm just telling, ask all the Jags fans, man. Just the Bills and the Ravens, they play very well against those two tougher AFC teams, and I just feel like they got their number.
All right, let's touch on the Monday night game real quick before we head into DraftKings. We got 15 people in the house, man. Smack that like button into smithereens if you haven't already. But we have the Eagles taking on those Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Right now, the Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. On the road, over-under is 46.5. What's going on with Jalen Hurts? Is he hurt? Because he has not been playing his best ball lately. I mean, a lot of Eagles fans are outside of the practice facilities saying they had like dumpsters out or trash cans out there with Big Play Slay and Bradbury saying both their corners are just trash, even though they're 10-3. I mean.
Slay is actually out this week, isn't he?
I know. Yeah, he's out. He's going to be missing this game. Geno Smith is still on the 50-50 side of playing. Give me the Eagles here. I mean, I know they've been struggling last 2 weeks. This is a nice game for them to bounce back, even though the Seahawks almost beat the Cowboys. But the Eagles need to get this done. If they lose this game, there might be a little panic in that building. So give me the Eagles on the road. No.
Let the panic begin, baby. Seahawks are going to win this football game, y'all.
Wow.
It's going to be crazy to watch, and because Jalen Hurts is going to look so human to everybody. And dude, Pete Carroll's on a 4-game losing streak. That's never happened to Pete Carroll in the Pete Carroll Seahawks era ever.
Damn.
And it's going to stop here. The 12s are difficult as shit to play with. The Eagles are on a skid. They've been freaking crapped on by the Niners and the Cowboys back-to-back. Yes, so I mean they could, theoretically bounce back from that, but I think they have not looked great on offense like the whole year. They only put up 19 against the Cowboys and 13 against the Cowboys and 19 against us. Like they're below 20 points. And if you're having a tough time doing that at home and then on the road back-to-back, man, I don't think that they're gonna go crazy on offense. I think their offense is a little bit broken. I think they miss Shane Steichen. And because even AJ Brown said we're too vanilla and we kind of run predictable shit. Dude, if your best wide receiver saying that about your offense, I just don't understand it, man. It's look at the tape from last year and just steal a few plays. You know what I mean? What are they gonna do? Plagiarize? But yeah, I think the Seahawks are gonna end their skid because I think theirs is worse, and I think they're gonna play with more urgency than the Eagles do because of that. Because the Eagles already know they're gonna go to the playoffs. But they want that division, but it's not their division this year. The Cowboys look better. The Cowboys are better. And the Eagles are done, at least this year, with reigning that division. I think that people are they just favor them way too much, and they don't realize how they don't look dominant this year. So, I mean, I think the Seahawks are going to continue the exposition of the Eagles.
Okay, that's if the Eagles lose 3 in a row, I mean that would be crazy. And
Mahomes and Hurts looking real human, aren't they?
they're looking very human. All right, let's go to the DraftKings side of the show here. And also, I was going to talk to you, Knipe, because I'm out of town next week, so we might have to do the show a little earlier in the week than So just a heads up for everybody out there watching as well. I'm going to go see my mama and my stepfather for Christmas and stuff like that. But DraftKings, let's try to win some money here. You know,
I love that part.
It's I mean, I haven't won in a long time. It seems like on DraftKings. I'm fucking poor, man. Help me out here. Quarterbacks. We have a lot of good plays this week. If you want to pay up for Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, that game could be a fun one. But like I said, the weather, we'll see. You know, we got the mid tiers right here. I think this area, as you all know, is my favorite little pay down spot. But I went with Sam Howell at 6.3 against the Rams. He's been very consistent, dropping 20 fantasy points per week. I mean, this is what he does. And we've talked about his attempts, even though he only threw 23 that week. That me and Kanai put money on for him to be over on the attempts. Yeah. He goes under on it, of course. So I'm not going to be betting on that today because, you know, maybe a little bad juju. I'm looking at this number. I'm looking at that number. Coming off a bye week, you know, they had an extra week to prepare for this game. And I think, like we were saying earlier, this game environment is going to be a fun one to watch. And I could have went with Stafford. It was either him or Stafford, honestly, this week. I just went with him because of the rushing aspect of it. Look, he has 2 touchdowns on the ground, 1-1. So he can get you in there on the goal line. You know, he can take an RPO himself inside. So I went with Sam Howell just for the rushing aspect. But I think Stafford is another good play as well if you want to go down a little bit to 6,000.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good QB plays this week, and I agree with. I like Sam Howell over Stafford, not only for rushing, but like I want to have the guy who's going to be down in that game.
Yeah,
because they're going to have to continually throw to get back, and I think that will be Sam Howell. So I like that pick. I went even lower because I wanted to afford one really expensive running back.
You know who it is.
Yeah, but I went down to Will Levis because the Texans have like their secondary has not been they've been looking very beatable. Will Anderson is Will Anderson out this game?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I know he left last game. So I mean, he's like their only guy that gets pressure for the most part. So I think Will's going to have time to do what he wants today. And I mean, he can also rush. He can surprise you every now and again. So I'm just going to say Will Levis. You know, they're playing for pretty much nothing. The Titans are nowhere near the playoffs, so they're not afraid to just sling it and see what Will Levis can do. And I honestly think he can. I think he can develop. I think that this guy, he might not be polished right now, but I think Will Levis is a quarterback in the NFL. I think he's a starter here. And I think he can get it done. So let's see what he can do against the Texans today.
I think Will Anderson is questionable. He might not play. So I was trying to look up an update about him, but I couldn't find one.
That's all good.
So yeah, that's a good pick too. If you want to go down, Ivani says I'm going with Case Keenum. What?
Case Keenum against the Titans. He's saving a lot of money, dude. The rest of his lineup must be just.
He's not even starting though.
Is it?
Is he? I thought it was Davis Mills.
He might be. I know that I read a report earlier this week that said it could be either one, but I'm sure it will be Mills.
Oh wow, he is starting.
Is he really?
Yeah, Case Keenum is in line to start Sunday's game against the Titans.
Dude, Ivani, you know what? Go ahead and do it because you just seem to have that luck, bud.
Ivani, you just reported something I didn't even know. I thought it was Davis Mills. Okay. Well, good for you, Ivani. Roll with Case. For my running backs, I went with Rashad White at 7,000 salary because we already said in the game preview the Packers can't stop the run. This coming from a Packers fan, in case anybody is interested. I know what I'm talking about here with Rashad White. He should ball out today, Sally. I mean, he's been getting a bulk of the carries, 20 carries, 25 carries. Finally, they're leaning more on him, taking a little bit more pressure off Baker Mayfield, and he gets it done through the air as well. He gets catches. I mean, not a crazy amount, but he had 6 right there against San Fran. So he's been paying off 24 fantasy points, 19-6. Like, he's been very consistent in DFS. So I think Rachaad White's a good play at 7,000 right there. And then I went with that same exact game script. I went with Kyron Williams, 7.5 thousand. Same boat with him. He's been getting fed 20 plus attempts per game. And like Knife said, the Rams might be in the front driver's seat in this game. They might be winning, so they're going to be relying more on Kyron Williams to kind of like bring him home, right? So I think he's in a good spot at 7.5, a little cheaper than I expected it to be. So I went with him, and then I went down mid-tier injury play. I got with Zeke at 5.8 against the Chiefs.
That's your flex, right?
Yeah, that's my flex. So no Ramondre Stevenson, and he did this in that game with no Ramondre Stevenson. So a Chiefs defense, a better defense than the Pittsburgh defense is not bad either, but Chiefs defense has been pretty good this season. But I think he's gonna get his attempts no matter what, because they're Bailey Zappi's the quarterback there, so they want to give Zeke some attempts. So give me Zeke there at 5.8.
All right. Yeah, so I went cheap at quarterback so that I could go to the biggest, baddest mofo running the ball in the NFL. And that would be the leader in rushing and the leader in my heart. I'm just kidding. But Christian McCaffrey. I mean, what do you have to say? It's Christian McCaffrey. Dude's a stud. He's guaranteed 25 points basically every single week, especially in PPR. And yeah, love this dude. And I love what he's about. So if we are winning huge today, which most people expect, then he'll definitely be a reason, and he is always going to get at least 1 touchdown for the most part. So let me get Christian. I think he'll get 2 today. And my other running back, so I went cheaper on another running back. I went to Jerick McKinnon. And the Chiefs just like to use him in the red zone, and I think they're going to keep giving him more work because, I mean, you're talking about taking a work away from Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which, I mean, what excuse do you need to take the ball out of his hands? He's just not good. I mean, and McKinnon's one of those wild cards to where, I mean, he's cheap enough to where I like, I like the question mark of, we've seen him get 2 touchdown games with, random broken plays in the past. And to me, against a Patriots defense that stops a lot of wide receiver production, Jerick McKinnon could be good out of the backfield. And like I said, they bring him in a lot in the red zone. So, I mean, if the Chiefs end up just taking the dog for a walk there in New England, then McKinnon should get some at least garbage time production as well.
Okay. And you only went with 2?
No, I went so my flex, I also have Kyron Williams. I think Kyron Williams is an absolute must play today for every lineup. I feel like he's a lock. The guy, I mean, when guys get basically 100, like him and Zach Moss, I think are the 2 most featured guys in the NFL whenever Jonathan Taylor's out. But yeah, I mean, when a guy's getting every single freaking touch out of the backfield and he's awesome and he plays with like heart, I love Kyron Williams, man. This kid's awesome.
He's good, man.
And let me get this dude to go off today also, because the Commanders' defense again is just complete trash. And if I think the Rams are going to be winning in the second half, then they're going to use this man right here to bring it home.
I mean, bro, look at this. He's 800 yards, and he missed what, 5 games or 4 weeks? That's crazy, bro. And
he's good, dude.
Still 10 touchdowns.
I know. I love this little guy.
Yeah, he's a good one. For receivers, I had to go a little cheap because, I spent some on some running backs. So I went with Rashee Rice, who's been their wide receiver 1 is now Rashee Rice. I mean, it's happened. It's finally happened. 6.1K, the most expensive he's been all season, but still good number there. I mean, you're getting 10 targets per game, it seems like, with this guy, and he's been getting in the end zone, 6 touchdowns on the season. Last 3 games above 14 points fantasy wise. So give me Rashee Rice. He was my last piece left in my lineup, actually. So he was my best option there. And then I went my boy, who's been phenomenal this season, Jaden Reed at 5.9. Still too cheap. I mean, look at this, bro. He hasn't been above 5,000 yet. And 10 targets on only 27 yards, but they run a lot of jet sweeps with this guy if you watch the Packers. So he gets those carries too. You got a rushing touchdown last week against the Giants. But I mean, 8 catches, that's 8 points right there on DraftKings. So he's been getting the catches, 20 points last week, and that will be on fire for 4.9K. And I think he is one of the main focal points in the offense for the Packers, especially with Christian Watson out again. And I know Aaron Jones is back, but I think Aaron Jones being back could help Jaden Reed because Aaron Jones is the other playmaker that the Packers need to get involved. But give me Jaden Reed at a 4.9, and then I'll win a little bit high. I know he's sick. He's come down with a little a flu. The whole Cowboys team is going through it right now. It seems like because Micah Parsons was sick last week, but Brandon Cooks, man, he's been consistent too. Even though last week didn't really do much, but he almost scored a touchdown. It was close. Like he got freaking tackled on the 2-yard line. He almost scored there, but 16 points, 17 points. Of course, CeeDee Lamb is their number one guy, but I think Brandon Cooks being out there, it could benefit, CeeDee Lamb being out there could benefit Cooks because everyone's going to be looking at CeeDee. So Cooks and that game environment that we like with Dallas and Buffalo, I think that's a good spot there at a cheap price. So those are my 3 receivers.
Right on. Yeah, I like them. I like the picks. So I had Will Levis as quarterback. So I stacked him with DeAndre Hopkins because I think he has like a 30% target share or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been balling.
Yeah, he's basically like one of the only. He's like one of the only guys that gets the ball as far as when they throw the ball. And like I said, the Texans are definitely beatable through the air. They're not as beatable on the ground this year. They're actually respectable on the ground now. But I mean, I know Derrick Henry's past has been just 200 yards and 2 TDs basically versus the Texans. But I'm going to say DeAndre Hopkins can do that today. I'm going to say he has an absolutely monster game, even though I'm sure that they want to let Derrick Henry, repeat the past. I still think that they'll let Will Levis throw a little bit because they still want, it's still a developmental year for Will Levis, and they know that. So I think they'd probably play a little more, I guess, trigger happy than they normally would, than the normal Mike Vrabel Titans. But yeah, let me get Hopkins on the stack, and then I also grabbed Terry McLaurin. Because if I think again that the Rams are going to be out in front, I think that the Commanders will have to throw. And I mean, dude, Terry has been kind of criminally ignored most of the year.
Yeah.
For a team that has the most pass attempts in the NFL,
look at that, bro.
No wonder y'all lose, man. Like this is almost as dumb as Arthur Smith. Like you guys have Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, 2 just absolute animals on the outside, and y'all refuse to just feed. Like, dude, if you're going to throw the ball 55 plus times a game, both of those guys should have 15 targets apiece. They're both that good, and they both need to be fed. I don't understand what the issue is or what you don't see on tape to show you different. But Terry McLaurin's a freaking dog, dude. Like, this kid's awesome, and he should hopefully have a decent game today. I mean, he can beat any coverage out there. So yeah, let me get him to have some garbage time if anything. And then I can't remember where I went with my last receiver. I was a cheap one, Jalen Hyatt. I actually do remember. I picked Jalen Hyatt because, if the Saints are winning, let me get a flyer. I just had to go cheap on a guy because I went with CMC and then a couple other higher wide receivers. But I took Jalen Hyatt because he has the ability for that. He's like that Rashid Shaheed type where he can just pop off for a 50-yard touchdown. And, it's just a flyer. Pick one of your sub $4,000 guys and just see what happens.
Yeah, it's crazy with the Commanders, man, because it seems like they love Dwame Brown and Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, like what in the actual fuck, man? Like it doesn't make sense, dude. Like, I mean, if you're paid a substantial amount of money to make good quality decisions to help your team win football games, and you're going to tell me your first instinct is to not give the ball to your best players, to the ones that are first round talents, like what are we talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Eric Bieniemy does, though, man. He shares the wealth, and
yeah, it's okay sometimes.
Yeah,
but if you notice, CeeDee Lamb gets almost a guaranteed 15 targets again. And you notice how in the beginning of the year the Cowboys weren't that great. You know what I mean? Like, or they weren't as impressive. And then they started featuring their awesome, insane alpha wide receiver, and look what happens. Look at what happens, man. Like, it just opens up so many other things. And now even Brandon Cooks is eating, and Jake Ferguson is eating because CeeDee Lamb is such a threat that they have to pay attention to him. And it's like, dude, that's the blueprint, guys. Like, that's the blueprint. Use your best players, please, for the love of God.
For tight end, I had to go. I went mid tier. You know, Dalton Schultz could be in a good spot because no Tank Dell, no Nico Collins, and with a backup quarterback, they usually go to the tight end for a lot of checkdowns, right? So like Schultz could be in a good spot there. But I went with a little lower with David Njoku at 4.7
Love
because I
it.
mean he's been getting those
Mm-hmm.
targets, man. And
Yeah.
Joe Flacco, look at this, 15 targets in that game. Joe Flacco's like this guy, and he's got in the end zone 2 times last week against the Jaguars. So Njoku at 4.7 against the Bears defense that's playing better, right? But I still think he can get in the end zone today. So I went with Njoku at 4.7K.
Love that pick. And Joku's been very impressive to me over the last like stretch of like 6 weeks, actually basically the whole year, but like the last 6 weeks, I've just like noticed him more, and he has been getting so many targets, man. It's awesome to
Mm-hmm.
see. Because he has production with him. So hey, good
Yeah.
job, man. Good job, David. Um, I went with your boy Tucker Kraft there in Green.
Oh, okay.
Because again, I picked the Bucks to win, but if I think that the Bucks are going to win, that means they're going to be out in front. At least you would think at some point. So I'm hoping that the Packers have to throw a little bit more today. And Tucker Kraft has been filling in pretty nice as of late. And I mean, he doesn't have a crap ton of targets, but he is a red zone threat.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of what you're looking for in a tight end is like, do they look for him to score? If they don't look for your tight end in the red zone, then what are you doing picking him on DFS? You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of good tight ends out there, but he was super cheap, and I had to, like I went higher on the rest of my lineup for the most part. So I think he was a good value tight end. And as you can see, since your boy Luke Musgrave went out, he's been serviceable.
Yeah, he's been slowly getting, more and more target shares and stuff like that. But he's a big guy, and he was still a second round pick, just like Musgrave. So I mean, Packers loved him. So
Yeah, I mean, what they had 64 in a tug last week. So I mean, that's enough to me that hey, he
he
can
didn't get a
repeat.
touchdown, but yeah, he had 64 yards.
Oh, I thought he had a touch. Okay.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's still good for a $3,000 fucking tight end. So, and then for defense, I went kind of cheap. I went really cheap. I went down to the Jets again. I did it last week. I went right back to the well. 2.5K. They scored 12 points last week at 2.9. I know it's the Dolphins we're talking about here. They're going against, but week 12 they scored 13 points against those Dolphins. Same price tag. So I mean, they prove it right there that they can still do it against a good team. And even though they got beat up, they still scored some fantasy points. So I went with the Jets at 2.5K as my like salary relief right there.
Oh yeah, I took the exact same defense,
Oh,
and
okay.
basically just because, I mean, if Achan and like I said, Achan and Tyreek being out, if they are out or if they're limited, yeah, yikes. Then I think Tua is in for a long day if that happens, man. Because like I said, Waddle usually exits every single game, and the Jets don't play nice. It ain't like they're one of those teams that soft tackle and their defense isn't known for hitting hard. Like the Jets hit you, man. Like the Jets will hit you hard, and Jalen Waddle will more than likely take a boo boo and go to the sideline. And then what? And then who do you have after that? You know what I mean? That's how
Cedric Wilson's out there.
yeah. So you better hope Mostert has just an amazing game somehow, some way. But I don't see it happening. I think the Jets play this very, very well. I think they're stingy today, and I think that they win the football game.
Let's start building that lineup. We both agreed on the Jets, and we both agreed on Kyron Williams. So let's throw those boys in there.
Let's start of the day, in my opinion.
Quarterback wise, we both kind of were in that same little area. Where do you feel more comfortable with quarterback?
I mean, do you want to mess around and do a Ram stack with like Stafford and Cup or Stafford and Nakua, or no?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I like Stafford a lot, and if you want to go that route, you can, because look at him, Stafford's game log too, man. He's been consistent 24, 22, and 23 the last 3 weeks.
And the Commanders just asked to be beat through the air. So I mean, yeah, I think they're going to beat them either way. Like I said, I think it's going to be a bloodbath over there today, but we'll see.
Yeah, so Nakua or Cup would be the tough decision though. Like who would you want? I'm gonna go with Cup, but
Okay.
I know you like your boy Nakua, but
I like both. They're both amazing. But yeah, I said, dude, Puka is dude. I like him more just because as a rookie, it's insane. Like,
yeah,
he looks so damn good at football, bro. Like, I
he
hate it
does.
in my division, but like, man, he looks exactly like how Cooper Kupp does just as a rookie, which is just mind blowing to me because that's not how Cooper Kupp looked remotely as a rookie.
Yeah, no, they hit gold with Nakua for real. So second running back, we got. Well, let's do tight end first so we can see how much money we have left. We might need to go cheap here because we got 5.2 average salary left. So I mean, we could roll with our guy Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the good value tight end this week.
Yeah, I like that. So now that gives us 5.8. So that's okay, spending money. So for the second running back, it's gonna be hard to go like high.
No, let's go lower. We can go lower. I'm sure. So do you want? So it's PPR, and there's no Brian Robinson this week, right? We can go Antonio Gibson.
Oh yeah, Antonio Gibson could be a nice play. And dude, we're like game stacking that game right now. Look at this.
I mean, yeah, that should be That should be.
I know.
The defenses aren't crazy good.
I've seen winning lineups like number one winning what $100,000 that do this. They game stack the game that they think that's going to go off, and it does, and they win. So let's see. 6,000 average left for 2 receivers and a flex.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I really like D Hop too. I like that choice. He could ball. I think D Hop's a good.
Do you want to try and do the superstition pick? Hold on, take Hopkins out and put Henry in the flex. How much is Henry?
Like Derrick Henry?
Yeah,
he's 6.9.
Just put Henry in the flex, and how much do we have left for each wide receiver?
5.5 for 2.
Okay, so like, are you okay with that? Just because of the history and because the Texans are down bad right now, do you think that Henry gets fed today? I mean, dude, the stat lines are insane. What he's had against the Texans over the last like 6 outings, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can bring that up. Yeah, he's in 13 games. He's averaged. I don't know if that's his. No,
that's for this year. I think that's just for this. I'm saying like the Texans. He's had like 200-yard games after 200-yard games and multiple touchdowns. Like, and if they're winning handily, like they might. I mean, I know I have D Hop and Will Levis, but that's just if the game ends up being close. I think that'll happen.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry could end up being the same dude again today. He's been against the Texans, even though the run defense is better. Like, I think we should go with it just in case history repeats itself.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Like, it's either him or Rashad White at $100 more. So it's like pick your poison with those two. But we'll leave Henry in there because for receiver we have 2 more. Let's see. I mean Jaden Reed, but I don't know if I should start Reed and Kraft.
Yeah, probably not.
McLaurin's there.
Yeah, let's go someone we haven't picked yet.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, we could go a little higher and see Ayuk. No, that's too much.
Wait, no, I don't think Ayuk's gonna eat today. We should. I mean, I think if
we
anybody,
Drake London. We could go Drake London again. I mean, look at this, bro.
Yeah, so what's weird is the Panthers are terrible, but they just don't give up a lot of production in wide receivers because teams are usually they know that they can just run against them and be fine. So I mean, you could though, but I don't see 10 targets for London again like the way he has.
Because like my thing is right now we're either gonna be playing like McLaurin and Reed, right? Because if we go down, I mean, do you want to like go cheap and see if we can go up? But if we go up to a running back,
let's go like one super cheap here, and then we'll see how much we have left to go with a big boy.
All right, I think our guy Shaheed might be in line because if Olave's misses, then he could be.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, Olave's hurt anyway, so he's probably not going to 100%. Let's do that.
So that'll be 6.8K. So that will Thielen would be the highest at 6.3.
And then I can't see who else is below that. I'm sorry.
It's Hopkins, Rashee Rice, Cooper. But then that would leave us with like $700 like left over.
That's fine. We can maybe change our defense off the Jets.
Yeah.
Or we can
go Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, he gets peppered. Yeah, he gets peppered with targets like crazy. I like that a lot.
Yeah, like 5.8K against Miami.
Yeah, let's do that.
You already know he's gonna have to do something. And actually,
I like a guy who's gonna get volume regardless, especially in PPR. Like, I mean, that the volume is huge.
So we have $1,000. We can either take away Gibson, Kraft, or Jets. Which one would you?
Try either tight end or defense and see if we can let's see which upgrade we like more, a tight end or
Defense, we can go to the Browns, Texans, Bears, Cowboys, Rams. So let's go back to the Jets real quick, and then tight end we can go Kyle Pitts, Logan Thomas.
Ooh, I kind of like the Logan Thomas idea.
Really?
Yeah, over Tucker Kraft, because like Logan he's also one of those guys on the Commanders that can get a few targets that more than we're expecting.
So we have 2 Washington, 3 Rams. Hey, we have a lot of 4 o'clocks, you know.
But I feel like those teams will be like, I think that'll make sense, honestly, with the Commanders and the Rams game. I hope it's not. Dude, watch it just be a field goal fest.
Oh my God, that lineup will burn if it's like Vikings and Raiders like last week. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dr. Van asked, who's y'all's MVP before we
we're gonna have that talk. I think to me right now, 1, 2, and 3, just because of what happened to CJ Stroud last week, it kind of took him out. And if he would have had a dominant game, in my opinion, then he would have still been the front runner to me. But right now, to me, it's Dak and Tyreek is 1 and 2, and then
Purdy.
I'd say Purdy number 3. Yeah,
that's exactly what I told French when he asked. I said it's Dak, Hill, and Purdy as top 3.
Yeah,
I'd say Dak right now is number 1.
Yeah.
Even though I want Hill to win it, because like,
but you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, because it's a quarterback award, but
I feel like he would have to get 2,500 yards in order to get MVP.
But like that's the thing though. Like if he gets 2,000, no one's done that. So like, how do you not give him the MVP at that point?
Dude, do you remember the season that Cooper Kupp had? Like,
the Triple Crown.
He could do no wrong that year. Like 0. The guy caught every freaking pass, had every touchdown imaginable, and still it didn't matter because you're not a quarterback. Because quarterback's the hardest position in the sport in general, in my opinion. And like, yeah, it has to be Dak. It has to be.
Yeah. Well, there's our lineup right there, y'all. Put it in $1. See what happens. I like that lineup though, for real. That was good.
As long as that game delivers, it'll be good.
All right, y'all. Well, we're wrapping up. We're going to get ready to watch these games. We're going to set up. Good luck to you all. If you're in the fantasy playoffs, good luck. Hopefully you can win, except for you, Spence. I'm looking you dead in your eyes. But good luck to your team. Good luck to your bets. Good luck to your DraftKings. Everything. We're out of here. I'll see you in a little bit, tonight.
All right, y'all.
Have a packed house over here, baby. We're going to have some fun.
Yes,
we got a Yamamoto meeting with the Yankees today. Second interview. I saw it.
It's just so that he can say no to him for the second time, because you know them Dodgers be getting everybody. You know what I'm saying? How mad are you right now? How upset are you?
During the season, I forgot. I was talking to Valhalla Sports Talk. If you'd watch the stream I had, he's a Dodger fan. And he's like, that was cool because I had me and Ace as the Yankees. He's like, you need to find one more Dodger. And it'll be like, 2 versus 2. And I was like, Knife's a Dodger fan. He might want to come up here a couple of times and talk some baseball.
Yeah, man.
But when the season starts.
So.
Yeah. He fun fact, Knife played pitcher. This man can throw now. Hey, Yankees might need to sign him to the bullpen. But all right, y'all. We're out of here. Go Pack, go. It's always love, peace, chicken grease. See y'all next time on the show, and I will let you know when that is because I'm out of town next weekend. But we're out of here. Peace.